Nobody is confused about what marriage is. They're just very aware of what it can become. And that awareness, that's where the fear starts. Because most people aren't running from commitment. They're running from consequences they watched up close and hoping it doesn't happen to them. Let's be honest. Marriage today doesn't look like a fairy tale. It looks like pressure, expectation, and a contract you're not sure you can survive, even if you want it to work. First, effort without guarantee. People watch relationships require constant energy, emotional management, compromise, sacrifice, just to keep things stable. And still, it falls apart. And no one explains why. So they ask a quiet question. What exactly am I signing up for? Because commitment feels less like security and more like responsibility with no refund policy. Second, the system itself feels outdated. Not love, the structure. A legal contract for something emotional. Rules written in a time where survival depended on it. Now people can build lives independently, so they question it. Not because they don't value connection, but because they don't see why love needs paperwork to be real. Third, money pressure. This one is simple and heavy. Everything is expensive. Housing, stability, even weddings. So instead of building a relationship, it starts to feel like building a financial project. And people delay it. Not because they don't care, but because they don't feel ready to carry that weight. Fourth, inherited fear. Many didn't grow up seeing love work. They saw tension, arguments that never ended, people staying but not happy. So now, marriage doesn't feel like partnership. It feels like a risk of getting stuck. And when something looks like a trap, people don't walk into it confidently. They walk into it carefully. Or not at all. Fifth, identity loss. There's a quiet fear that once you commit, you disappear into roles. Provider, caretaker, responsible one. And somewhere in that, you stop being yourself and don't know how to get that version back. So people hold back, trying to protect who they are before becoming something they don't recognize. And then there's the deeper reality people avoid talking about. Not everyone fears marriage because they have a choice. Some people fear it because of what it represents. Control, loss of freedom, pain tied to commitment from a very early age. For them, marriage isn't romantic. It's something that took more than it gave. And that kind of association doesn't disappear easily. One more layer. Fear of choosing wrong. Because people have seen how someone can change or reveal parts of themselves later. And once you're legally tied to that, leaving becomes complicated, emotionally and financially. So hesitation becomes protection. And here's the truth most people don't say out loud. This fear isn't weakness. It's observation. It's people learning from what they've seen and trying not to repeat it. But there's a difference between awareness and avoidance. Because avoiding marriage doesn't solve the problem. Understanding what makes relationships fail does. Clear expectations, honest conversations, choosing people based on patterns, not promises. Marriage itself isn't what people are afraid of. It's what happens inside it. When two people aren't prepared for reality. Subscribe to LoveLens